What's up? I'm Elsa Rhae. Today I'm going to be going over face and body paints. There's all kinds of different brands and different types of face and body paint, but today I'm going to be going over the stuff that I have used before and that I like. This video is going to be informative, but it's also going to have a lot of my personal preferences, so I hope that you learn something, but also take my opinions with a grain of salt. If you're super impatient and don't want to hear about everything, check the description below. I'm going to be doing some timed links that will go directly to that point in the video. We're going to start with alcohol activated paints because these are the paints that I have the least experience with. Alcohol activated paints are solid, dry cakes that can only be activated with 99% isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. This type of paint is huge in Hollywood for special effects and character makeups. Some pros: it's waterproof, which makes it great for underwater shoots or shoots where you're going to be outside or anywhere near water. This being said, it will last for days because you can't get it off with just water. It's a very thin paint, which means it can look very natural, but it's also buildable. Some cons: it will only work with 99% isopropyl alcohol, and that can be pretty hard to find. Good thing there is the internet. Alcohol can be very drying and hard to work with around sensitive areas. And also, alcohol activated paints can be pretty darn expensive. Popular brands are Skin Illustrator, and Kryolan also has their own line. Now for cream paints. Cream paints are just as they sound. They're creamy. They're oil-based and they're used a lot in theater productions. Because it is oil-based, it is highly blendable. It's easy to apply, it's easy to remove, and it's very easy to find. Some cons are that because it is oil-based, it does not set ever. If you want it to last longer, you have to set it with powder. And even then, it might not last a really long time. Because you have to set it with powder, it is not a very natural looking paint. This is why it works well in theater, because the actors are way far away from the audience. And lastly, it is pretty horrible for detail work. Two very well-known brands that carry cream face paint are Mehron and Ben Nye. Now for water-activated face paints, the face paint that I most commonly use. And this is where things get kind of tricky. There are two main types of water-activated face paints: wax-based and glycerin-based. Pros of glycerin-based face paints is that they are very creamy when activated with the correct amount of water. They are very blendable and they work great as base colors. They're also great for moist skin, which leads me into the cons, because glycerin-based paints take a lot more water than wax-based paints to activate. You might do like 3 spritzes of water on a Mehron Paradise paint versus like half a spritz on a Tag wax-based paint. I say that the glycerin-based paint works better on sweaty skin because it kind of absorbs that sweat a little bit better than wax paints. Glycerin-based paints tend to be a bit less vibrant than wax-based paints, and they're also not as great for line work, which is why you use them for base work. Pros of the wax-based water-activated face paints are that they are highly pigmented and very vibrant, making them exceptional for line work. They also require much less water to load than the glycerin-based paints. Some cons are that because they are wax-based, they melt terribly in the summer humidity. My pot of white DFX turned into straight marshmallow fluff. They also tend to freeze really badly in the winter, so if you're painting outside, your brushes will harden up really fast because it's wax. So that's annoying. And just the opposite of the glycerin-based paints, they're pretty hard to use on sweaty people because they don't absorb that water very well. Some really great wax-based brands are Wolf, which is one of the most popular, DFX that I like to use just because Wolf is so hard to find, Tag, which is my favorite overall body paint to use, and I'll go over that in a minute, and Global. Some good glycerin-based face paints are Snazaroo, Fab, and Mehron's Paradise paint. The overall pros of water-activated face paints is that they're very easy to use, just like watercolors. They last a really long time on your face, they're inexpensive for the amount of paint that you get in a pot, and they also set on their own. Some cons are that they will flake and they will fade over time, and that it can be pretty tricky to figure out the correct water to paint ratio. My overall favorite face paint to use is Tag. It is a wax-based, water-activated face paint, and it's exceptionally cheap, very vibrant, and I can use it kind of multi-purpose. I use it as a base, and I can also use it for line work. They come in a lot of different colors, and I just feel like it is the best, well-rounded paint. And if you're looking to buy some of this paint that I've talked about, you can find all of it at justpaint.com. I've been buying from Just Paint since I started face painting. Anna from Just Paint also put on her blog a chart that nicely goes over the things that I talked about today and lays it out in a spreadsheet for you to just look at and be like, okay. So check that out if you want. I'll leave a link below in the description. With any paint or anything, you have to practice to get good. If you have any more specific questions about things regarding what I talked about, or any other questions that I didn't touch on, please leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I hope that you're having an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!